agenda will be the approval of the minutes from last meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a
Anybody?
motion to approve the minutes.
Second? I'll second. Take a roll. Erica?
Sturbaum? You're muted.
Yeah,
About that, there we go.
there we go.
I'm
Okay.
abstaining because I wasn't there.
Okay, Lewis,
Yes,
Barber,
Yes.
Simonowski.
Yes.
okay, the first item on the agenda and the only item is a public hearing of the Storage of America 1825 Oak Harbor Road. Is there someone here to speak to that, representing them?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what do you want to do?
We've been approached by a local businessman, and he is looking to, he needs to store up to 50 trailers on hard surface. And he has asked us if he could use our parking lot for it as a temporary basis for a 1 to 4 month period of time. He purchases them in bulk. And then over a period of time, he sells the trailers. He may have to do some maintenance on them at his shop, where at what time he would take them to his shop to do the maintenance. Wouldn't do it in our parking lot. But we have a big area there. It's affords him the ability to turn around, park them in a reasonably uniform manner. So it's not helter skelter and all over the place. And that parking lot doesn't get used for anything right now. And it just, according to, I had asked Erica if he could do that ahead of time because we had the discussion before, and she indicated that we would need to come to the Board of Appeals here to get a request. So we're requesting to do it. It'd probably be through like July of this year. As a temporary basis, and wouldn't go beyond, I don't expect to go beyond the summertime if it's acceptable to the board.
How high are these trailers?
Typical, I would believe they're like a typical semi-trailer. It could be anything from a flatbed up to probably 13 feet, which is usually your normal your standard height. It wouldn't be any more than 13, I'm sure.
And you're talking for 4 months max?
Yeah, that'd be through the end of July at this point.
Are these trailers gonna then come in every 4 months or 1 to 4 months?
No, they'd be moved in over a period of time, and then some of them would be sold and they'd be moved off. They may have a couple that come in and then they get moved out to a shop, get work done, and then brought back and then sold and moved out. But it wouldn't be something where they're constantly coming in and going out. You would expect maybe 1 or 2 a day would move in or out of there. I don't think it would be more than two trips per day that would generate through that in that area.
So it would be a continuing process. Not
It
just,
could be a continuing, but it also may not be. They may sit there for a few days with nobody even touching them. And then somebody might buy 4 or 5 of them at a time and then might take 4 or 5 of them out all at once. So,
but the potential is that they could be there for an indefinite amount of time, not just the 1 through 4 months. There is
no,
that
that's not what
potential.
we're asking for. Is just up to 4 months. We would, if it was going to be something more permanent, then it would be a different, we'd probably have some landscaping and have some screening and things like that. This
So
is just
in
temporary.
4 months, they will all be gone.
Yeah, we're expecting they ought to be gone by the end of July.
Okay. Anybody else have a question?
How are you going to protect these trailers from trailers from someone messing with them, crying. You know, people come in and busting in or whatever, you know, that kind of potential.
Yeah, it would be, I mean, we have cameras on our building, on the exterior of the building, but we're not putting any additional cameras in the parking lot. So that, of course, the security of those trailers would be up to the owner, his ability to protect them. We can move them closer to the building if we need to, or if he wants to, as long as we still are afforded parking for our business, which we only have maybe 2 or 3 people parking in the parking lot at one time. But
You're not-
you know, it'd be as well as any other commercial parking lot that you have. You know, we have. I mean, when you park a vehicle in a parking lot, there's always, whether you're at Meijer or a Kmart or a Walmart or anything like that, you know, there's always some significant potential for somebody to break in at any given time. So
These trailers are empty, aren't they?
yes, they're
Empty?
empty. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Okay.
not full load trailers. No.
Okay.
How many would you expect to be there at one given time? Like, would there be a set maximum amount? Has the business owner given you any indication of that?
He's indicated 40, but I've put in the application 50 just in case there's a buffer up to. He has capacity at his business, so he wouldn't need all of them. He says 40 probably would be his max, but in the application I did put 50 just in case he had a few more. We wouldn't violate the conditions of whatever the city grants us.
Does he do this for a business? I mean, does he have trailers continuously coming into his possession that he needs to store them
I
somewhere?
am not currently, it sounds like he does a lot of bulk purchases and then selling them.
Okay.
And it sounds like he primarily deals with trailers, so I would presume that he does. I'm not 100% sure on that though.
I guess my only concern there would be, and would be what could potentially come in those trailers. And I wouldn't want it to be anything that, like drugs, for example. I wouldn't want anything coming in those trailers that we're unaware of that could
Right.
potentially.
I agree. And also like human trafficking. I mean, you don't know.
And we would, we have that same feeling. We would not want that as well.
Well, I mean,
and
how are we gonna like inspect that? How is that gonna be?
Well,
you
that
know,
would
how-
be part of his, that would be part of his agreement, his lease agreement. It's part of the lease agreement that we have as a standard lease agreement, that they're empty trailers and there's nothing in them, including human trafficking, drugs, or anything illicit.
Okay, so how are those gonna be inspected then?
I,
Because you're the business owner. Well, no, you're the business owner, you're the land owner. So
we can
how is that?
we can inspect them as they come in. Yeah, I don't hear that he's gonna have them locked or anything, so you can open up the trailer door and peek inside, so, and he's indicated that they would be vacant, and we can look at that as they come in and test them periodically. So we wouldn't allow them to be locked. Okay, that's an easy way, because if they were illicit or anything illicit, people would want to put a lock on it. So if you eliminate having a lock, you can just look to make sure there's no lock on it.
What's the timing on them coming in? Are they gonna be coming in the middle of the night?
Could be
Rolling in
during
and
the
out of
normal
here?
normal business hours, usually from 7 a.m. probably till 6, 7 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Mrs. Huffman,
Yes,
do you have a problem or any of your group for 4 months max?
from everything that I'm listening to, I'm not opposed, but I've only got Mr. O'Neill
Mhm.
there, and I'm very thankful for Jennifer's question. I don't know that I would want to make that decision for my whole group. I'm just the secretary.
Yeah, I'm just asking your decision. Yeah.
I'm
what-
not- I'm not totally opposed to it if it's just 1 to 4 months.
Okay.
I mean, if they're gonna come in, they're gonna go out, and we don't have to see them again. But then I guess I might add in one little thing that maybe Storage of America could clean up those hedges along there, where all the paper, and I know a lot of it's the debris from winter, but maybe they could tidy that up a little bit while they're at it.
That's something I can assure you that our staff, our operations staff has already addressed that with our landscaper and the manager at the site to make sure that that stuff is cleaned up. We had that discussion just this week.
We
again,
appreciate that.
so. We've had some issues. We just got a new manager on site today. Like yesterday, we hired a lady, a local lady to manage it. Our current manager, he had a surgery and he is out for a few months. So he's taken a leave of absence. I don't know what his official status is, but I know that has had something to do with it. Then I also had a meeting with the property manager for landscaping to make sure that that stuff is getting taken care of. So we've approved them to do additional cleanups in the spring on all our sites, because that's something that happens on almost all of our sites.
I appreciate hearing that. And if you folks don't mind, I'd like to ask Mr. O'Neill one question.
Yeah.
Mr. O'Neill, what do you think about this?
Well, my wife's totally against it. So, you know, because we had trailers over here before and them things would sit there and they'd run all night long. And the semis, they'd let them run all night to keep warm because they were over there sleeping, and you could hear them all night long over there, them trucks running. So that's one thing, you know, totally, she's pretty much against it.
Our bylaws don't allow trailers, and boats here on the property.
Yeah, that's.
Why should we have to look at something our neighbors have like that?
I will say that there are no tractor trailers. There are no tractors associated with the trailers other than dropping off and picking up. It's not like a truck stop where people come in and park and sleep there all night with their truck running.
Okay.
Anybody else have any questions?
For Mrs. Huffman and the O'Neills, if just, hypothetically, if we did, we're looking into approving this, would it be agreeable to you as long as we approved it with a conditional of time that, the trailers have to be off the property by, July 31st or whatever, so that we could truly enforce, the 4 months that they're asking for? Would that make it more agreeable to you?
It would to me. I'm not sure about the O'Neills. Or
Yeah.
anybody else for that matter.
Yeah, if you're gonna put a time limit on it, I think that'd be okay.
Okay. Anybody else? If there's no further discussion, I'll entertain a motion to approve the conditional use permit or disapprove.
I had one more question for Mr. Fitzpatrick.
Okay, excuse me. Go ahead.
Was there an anticipated time that the business owner had talked to you that he was planning on, if we approve this today, when would he start rolling the trailers in potentially?
It would probably be about within 2 to 3 days after you approved it. So I
Okay.
would suspect beginning of
Around.
next week.
Okay.
So 4 months out. Anybody got a calendar? What would that be?
That'd be July 31st. If it starts on April 1st, if you approve it tonight, we'd
Okay.
start like April. That'd be next day, next week, maybe
Okay.
last week in July sometime.
Okay, gotcha.
And one other question too, like when I'm trying to picture 40 to 50 trailers, I'm sure they're probably going to be parked right beside each other. So like how close to our condos do you think those trailers would come?
I'm trying to keep it at least, I want them to stay at least 50 feet off of the drive that comes in there, that goes between the pond and our parking lot.
Yeah.
And then additional 50 foot of separation. Now I can make that even more if the city wants to, like, say even 200 feet, we can keep it 200 feet off of that. It just depend on whether or not that's something you want to address. And of course, we would do that and try to keep it closer to our building and as far away as we possibly can from the residential. Then again, what you're doing is you're moving it closer to the road and highway, which that's something that you may want to address too, because then you have more people looking at them at a closer distance, but it's up to the city, really. We can put them in the middle of the parking lot, which would keep them as far away from everybody as they possibly can, so.
Yeah, I would try to keep them away, closer to your building.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Okay, I'll entertain a motion. Don't everybody speak up at once.
Well, I make a motion to disapprove this approving the trailers in this parking lot.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a second. We'll call a vote. Erica?
So Jen, just to clarify this, you made a motion
Yes.
to disapprove.
Disapprove, yes, I do not want this.
And then Barbara, second. Okay, Sturbaum,
Yes, on the disapproval.
Lewis,
No. I don't agree with it. I think they should have it.
okay.
As long as it's for 4 months.
Barbara,
Yes, on the disapproval.
Simonowski,
Yes, on disapproval.
and to clarify, Steve, you mean yes on the disapproval or no, you approve?
I mean, yes, on the disapproval.
So we've got 3 nays and 1 yes.
Yes on the disapproval?
We have 3 yeses on disapproval and 1
No.
yes, one wants to approve it, yes,
So it's not approved.
right.
Now you have, is it 3 days, Erica?
Yes,
To appeal this to city council. If you don't like our decision. And you just have to get a hold of Erica to do that.
so
You have
to
a form for that, Erica?
You can just shoot me an email and say that you
Okay.
want to. I'll send you some information on it. You have
Okay.
5 days though
5 days.
Okay.
to contest to city council
Yeah.
their
Okay.
decision.
Who's the chairman of the zoning, the Board of Appeals, zoning appeals?
Gene Yeager. But
And,
he was absent.
okay. Point of order, though, one thing that should always be done when you're making a recommended, for approval or non-approval, should always be in the positive where you approve it and it can be voted no. Just a Robert's rule of order, kind of rule of thumb that you want to follow. Makes it a lot less confusing
Yeah.
when you're
yeah,
taking the vote, right?
Yeah, I got you.
Even though
I'll
it
just-
sounds
I'm just
bad,
filling in, so
make
I
it as a
don't,
recommendation for approval, but everybody has a vote of yes or no.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem.
Is there any other business to come before the board? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Thank you for your time, people, everybody,
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
ladies and gentlemen.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
Okay, Erica, you want to make a roll call?
Yeah. Barber,
Yes.
Sturbaum,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Simonowski.
Yes.
Okay, we'll just see what happens next.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Okay.
guys.
Yep.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a
See you
nice
later.
evening.
Bye. Okay, bye.
Bye.
God.